Okay, this is Tour of America's Dairyland, Wauwatosa. You can see here, this guy's not even pedaling going into the uphill. And that's the problem with big fields like this, just like in Shorewood. And that's what we're going to talk about today is how tough big fields are. Look at all these guys just totally braking, taking wild lines, losing all their speed and momentum. And there's only so much you can do. People taking super wide lines like they are here. The other difficult part about this race is that the Boulder Juniors just absolutely destroyed this field and made it super hard. Usually this section right here is a washing machine effect where people ease up, but you can see here gaps are opening up, people dropping off, and we're just in the beginning of this race. I'm still so far back that you can see here people are still losing momentum. I kind of navigate it fairly well into those corners, but when you have a race like this where the juniors are just blasting the front, even in sections like this, you're just going to have to use a lot of energy to close down gaps. And, you know, it's just a tough race overall. There's not much to say about it beyond go really hard and try to get up to the front. So you can see here, this guy's going to open up this gap. He's like braking right now, and that's what happens when you're too far back. I'm stuck behind people like this where it's like unnecessary gaps open up. Now I have to close them down. Eventually I'll catch up to this group, but it gets very dangerous because you can get gapped off and then just completely get dropped. I stick with the field here luckily, but again, big 110 plus field. There's only so much. This guy's gonna brake for some reason. Watch him brake. Now I'm braking. I don't know again why people brake when there's obviously a ton of space in front of them. So you can see here on the left hand side, I found that if you don't brake, you fly by them. So I ended up finding that the gutter on the left hand side there was a good place to move up. I didn't brake at all, used the gutter, and then, you know, use it to my advantage. It's a random crash here. I wasn't impeded at all by it, so I just kept going. But that gutter was really important at that back end. You can see here, look at this guy on the left-hand side taking the inside line here. Again, wild lines and big fields in the back of the field like this. So you got to try to navigate them the best and get up as far as you can, as soon as you can. But again, look at how stretched out it is. The juniors were destroying this field. They made it so fast that to get to the front, it was really, really crazy difficult. And that's the tough part. As easy as it is to say is, you know, get to the front and it makes life easier. When it's a tough race like that, it's so easier said than done. Look at this. I mean, people taking wild lines, gaps forming, and then you have to close those down. And again, long stretches like this, when it's going really fast, you're just going to have to continue to follow wheels. There's gaps opening up left and right. I'm going to have to close those. So this was a particularly tough race. There's 12 laps to go, but again, left-hand side here, people are braking. I tend to find that if you sit in the gutter a little bit, you didn't have to brake. Conserve some of your speed, move up positions. Again, that's the trick with these big fields is just to move up and move up. But look at this, no brakes. Move up the left-hand side gutter. This guy, crazy wild line. Don't even know what he was doing. This is what it gets. It just gets so wild in these large fields at Toad. This stretch. Clearly, I'm just gunning it. It's single file. Usually that section adds a lot of washing machine effect. It didn't at all this race. So the juniors were just destroying this field. I don't think way less than half of the 100+ field people even survived the end of this race. And so what that really means is that it was just incredibly tough. And you can see here, I'm starting to fall off the back. And I just didn't survive this race. I think all the 10 days of racing kind of added up. Bigger fields like this where I had to close a lot of gaps added up, and it just made me kind of blow up. So that was Toad in a nutshell. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself, my strengths, my weaknesses, how to race in a field, what I could use to my advantage. Hopefully I conveyed some of that to you, and hopefully you can use that yourself. We're going to race Chicago, not Intelli, but Chicago Grit now. There's going to be some more of these. Hopefully you learned a thing or two from me. Hopefully I can learn a thing or two from you. But thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. And best of luck racing out there, guys. Thanks for watching.